Hi guys! Hello. Welcome. I'm so excited you're here. Say hi in the chat if you are joining us live. I would love to know who's here, where you're tuning in from. If you don't know me already, my name's Mariah Althoff. I am an online visibility coach, content coach for creatives who want to grow their online visibility so that clients start coming to them rather than them having to go seek clients. I know most of us didn't get into business to become content creators. So this whole series that I've been doing here on Adobe Live, this is episode 5. So if you're just tuning in for the first time, you should go watch the other episodes after this one. But we're talking all about how to multiply your content. So I, every week, am taking one piece of the pie, like something you've already created or one type of content piece, and we are multiplying it by like 3 or 4 every single week so that your content just stretches way further and is far more like it's just worth your time. Like you don't need to be spending 100 million hours creating content every week. You don't have time for that. But also, I want your content to actually be converting and making you sales or getting you in front of the right people. So that is what this whole series has been all about. And today specifically, we are talking about taking content from your about page on your website and turning it into content. Now, here's the thing. I know that as creatives, we hate talking about ourselves. We're like, look at my work, look how good it is. Don't worry about me. But today I am here to encourage you to start sharing your story, share the creative, the artist behind the work, because people like to buy from people. They like to work with people. They want to feel a connection to who they are hiring or spending money with in some capacity. So the more that you can get in front of your ideal audience and share who you are with them, the easier it is going to be to, either book them as a client or have them buy some of your artwork or whatever it is you do. But it's so important to have a connection to your audience and to whoever you're trying to sell. So today I'm going to help you actually talk about yourself online. Okay? Now, I also want to mention that every single week I am updating a content repurposing guide. So I am adding a page to this guide with a new content workflow in it. This guide is totally free. Here in 1 second, you'll see the link right above my head, but also the link should be in the description of this video already. But I want you to go grab that, download it, and then just refresh that link every week because there'll be 2 more pages added to it. So, but that is essentially walking you through all of the workflows that we've already done and the workflow we're going to do today so that you have that as like a little cheat sheet for when you're creating content next and you don't want to spend 8 million bajillion hours creating content. So, as always, we're using Adobe Express because we love Adobe Express, and they make content that much easier, which is why we're all here, right? So I am going to go ahead and get my screen pulled up, but I would love to hear from you guys in the comments, like, what is your biggest challenge when it comes to sharing your story or talking about yourself online? Like, what is holding you back from that? Because I want to work through that today. This is going to be about more than just creating pretty content. It's let's get a little deeper. You know what I mean? So, okay. We're going to be creating a couple carousel posts and a reel, and then maybe if we have time, a quote graphic. So, the first post that I want to be creating today is going to be just like a more of a lighthearted one. So on my about page, I have a little section that's like things that make me feel seen, because up until that point on my about page, it's all about like why I care about you being seen and why you deserve to be seen. And so then there's a little blurb about like, here's what makes me feel seen, so that people can just kind of get to know me and some of my quirks and what I do when I'm not on the internet, right? And while this type of post isn't necessarily going to like make sales, like we're not pitching necessarily through this post, it is going to allow for connection and like really humanize your brand and inspire engagement. And it's even going to just like demonstrate your personality through a piece of content. And that is really important. So even when you're not directly promoting anything, promoting yourself is really useful. So we are going to start with a template because this, well, actually, no, we're not. We're going to use a template, but first, what I've decided I want to do for this post is for all like 5 or 6 things that I have that like make me feel seen, I'm going to take a video clip and turn it into a GIF or a GIF. I also would love to know which one you think it is. I say GIF, and I'm so sorry if you hate that. It might be, a lot of people get really mad at me on the internet when I say that, but I can't change. It's not working. But we're going to create a GIF from videos that describe that, just to like add some more fun personality versus just like typing out words. So, and we can do that in Adobe Express too. Okay, so it actually is right here in the more ways to start, and that's likely because I use this feature like somewhat regularly. But if you don't see convert to GIF on your homepage, in this more ways to start section, you can click view all or do explore quick actions. Both are going to take you to the same place, and then you'll be able to find the GIF maker there. And I definitely have just like, here it is. Okay. So all you have to do is drop a video in here. I am going to grab one that I have already. Okay. So one of the things that makes me feel seen is snuggling cows. And I'm serious. I do want to make it a square. So I'm going to change that here. It's going to just default to whatever size your video is already, but we're going to do square. And then I'm going to choose fill screen so that there's not like weird black bars around it. Okay. And you can go ahead and like reposition it if you want. So I'm going to center me and this cow. Okay, perfect. And while we could trim the video if we want, 4.5 seconds is fine for a GIF. Like if you had like a minute-long video, trim that down. That's crazy. But 4.5 seconds, perfect. We love it. I usually just do medium quality. Although maybe we'll do high quality for this since it is like already going to be saved down again. Okay. And then we're just going to hit download and it's going to do its thing. So while that's happening, I'm going to go check the caption or the comments. Why do I just keep saying the wrong words today? Oh my gosh. Okay. We're the voice behind the visuals, the message behind the noise, the ones who shape public perception, set the tone. Oh my gosh. This is so good. Okay. Oh, okay. Yep. Okay. Love that. Creatives for Justice. Hi, Arizona. It's hot. I'm an Arizonan too. Wow. Lots of Arizona people. Okay, good. And then the content guides in the chat. Okay. Love it. All right. So it made our GIF. We are going to download it. And it's going to pop into our downloads folder. It really is that easy. I'm so grateful for that. And then we're going to do it 2 more times. I already have a couple made, but I just wanted to show you like how easy this is each time. So let's see. Oh, actually we're just doing 2 this time around. No, 3. Okay. Square, fill screen. So another one is snuggling cats. You can see I'm snuggling a lot of animals. And here I am going to trim it down probably to like 5 seconds. I don't need much more than that. Let's see what that looks like. Yep, perfect. Okay. Oopsies, fill screen. All right, so it says Adobe Express is processing your media. So while we do that, we will wait. Download. Perfect. And then we're going to do one more time. I have a few GIFs that I've already saved for you as well. But these ones I have not. Okay. And this is the last one. One more time. Square, fill screen. Still need to fill screen. Okay, great. Let's let Express process our media. Amazing. Download. Okay, so we just spent like 5 whole minutes making a bunch of GIFs. And now we're going to use those in an Adobe Express template. Okay. So something that's really useful too is if you just go to your stuff, I'm always going through templates and just favoriting things that I like. Like these are a bunch of templates that I've favorited because I'm like, oh, this is nice. Like sometimes I'm like, I don't need to use that right now, but like I could see a time where that would be useful. So I'm just going to like hit this little heart button and keep scrolling to find whatever it is I'm looking for in the moment. But I've used many of these templates like several times because they are like saved in my favorites and it's so easy to find. So this time we're going to use this start now template. Okay. Mainly because I really like how like hand drawn it looks, but also it feels like clean and simple. So the first thing I am going to do though, and we've talked about this on all of our lives thus far in this series, is anytime we're creating a carousel post, I'm going to go ahead and hit resize because in the last, I don't even know how many months, carousel posts now are vertical. They're this 1080 by 1350 size. So I'm going to go ahead, hit resize, and Express does its fancy little thing where it just stretches it and like adds on to the actual image so that it's really easy to resize your graphic. This makes my life significantly easier. It even generates multiple types of results, which is really helpful. This is just a textured paper, so these all look the same. Like you can tell they change a tiny bit. The first one, great work, AI robots. But now what I am going to do first and foremost is I'm actually going to take this paper and I'm going to choose set background, this paper texture, I should say. That way I can like select things on top of it and I'm not accidentally also moving around the background. Now I'm going to shrink this down. And then we are going to start adding text. Okay. So I'm just going to say things that make me feel seen. Obviously, we need to do some resizing. Okay. And I'm just going to delete that text because I actually don't want any of that on here right now. Okay. And then, yeah, I am going to use this little like highlighter circly moment because I like it. I like that it feels like handmade, but also like simple. So this pink color is a little bit brighter than my usual pink, but because if you see here, if we zoom in, the opacity is set a lot lower because we want this texture to like seep through essentially. So while I could change it to my brand colors, which is like this, that is going to be hard. So what we could do, we could play around with it where we make this a lot darker. Oh, let's do that actually. Okay, that like looks a lot closer to this while still having that texture behind it. Essentially, we just took the exact color and made it darker so that it still has the like transparency behind it. Okay, and then I do want to make sure that this is fully in the center, and then we will place this circle. Okay, you know what else too? I really like this little arrow. Like I want to add some sort of arrow so that people know like, oh, you need to keep swiping. So let's stick that here, but let's go to position, flip horizontally, and then maybe let's stick that here, but let's like, I don't know if I hate that or not. Let's see. Okay. I don't mind that. I think I want it to be smaller. Yep. Okay. All right. So that's our cover graphic. Simple, but like clean and interesting looking. Now I'm just going to duplicate this page so that it's the same size. It has this background. It has the fonts already loaded in. Like I can just edit it from here. But I do think I want to bring this guy back in this time. And you know, I don't know why I'm harping on the font situation because I don't want that one here. So I'm going to paste it. I am going to change the font though. Let me see here. We're going to grab Realist Wide. It's one of my brand fonts, and I am going to get rid of all this spacing. I don't need a ton of letter spacing, and I don't need a ton of line spacing. And then let's make, yeah, orange. Okay, so the first thing on this list is, okay, dancing with my daughter to Taylor Swift. We are going to shrink this down some more. I just want it to be 2 lines. Okay, and this just can go away too. Now let's grab our first GIF. Okay. Like how fun and cute is this? This was actually from when she was much smaller. She's giant now. She's 2.5 now, but this feels like yesterday to me. So, okay, cute. Let's duplicate the page. This one's going to be getting lost in national parks with my husband. Okay. Let's see. Oh. Fun, cute. Let's duplicate that. We're gonna say snuggling cows. Let me know in the chat if you've ever snuggled a cow, because I 10 out of 10 would recommend. It's the most like therapeutic thing. They're just giant dogs and it's just the best. Okay. Being smothered in hordes of cats. So I actually at one point had six cats. We're down to 4. But there's a lot of cats in my house. There's always one willing to snuggle you. And then last but not least is letting my personality shine on and offline. And that's where we're going to put this one. Oh, shoot. I shouldn't have gotten rid of this yet. I need to know how big. Okay. All right. Let's just make sure these are all in the same place. Yeah, looks good. Okay. Cute, fun, love it. And you'll see too, like this one, I added it because it ties into my brand story. So it's like fun, like tidbits about me that show off my just like silly personality, snuggling animals, you know. But then the final slide is like really ties into my business and my brand and what I do and what I teach. And that's where our CTA slide is going to come in. So we're going to get rid of this. I'm going to copy this over here. And let's see. My call to action is... Let's see. Your brand is more magnetic when you show up fully as you. Okay. Shrink all that down. And then we're going to put this down here because I'm going to have one final call to action. It's going to be... Want help turning your personality into content? Grab my free client attraction starter kit. Okay. We're gonna make this a little easier to read. Resize it a little bit. Okay, now Let's add some fun little accents to some of this. Oop. Whoop. All right, let's highlight as you. What else do I want to do? I might want to... I think I'm going to cut this out. Let's paste it. And I might want to put like some sort of shape behind it so that it doesn't just fade into the abyss. Okay. I'm not 100% sure I want to do this yet, but it feels right. Feels right in the moment. This probably does need to be, yeah, a darker color for sure. Maybe we up the opacity. Okay. Perfect. What do we think? So now we have this like cute, fun, simple, clean carousel post that's going to be really easy to swipe through. These GIFs are going to automatically play when they're uploaded, because we're just going to download all of these files as MP4 files, MP3 files. No, MP4 files, and then upload them to Instagram. So we can delete this one now. And then it ends with essentially a slide that really ties it all together to my brand, still showcases my personality, and even has my call to action that gets people onto my email list. Perfect. Done, done, and done. Okay. Let me name this. Things that make me feel seen. Cool. All right, so that's post number 1. Here's the next one that's going to be a little more detailed and in depth. I want to create essentially a start here post. On Instagram, you can pin up to 3 posts on your feed so that no matter when you posted it, you can pick which 3 are at the very top. And a really good option to have on your Instagram feed is essentially a start here post that kind of either it gives people your origin story. It lets them know who you are, what you do, how you got here, and invites them to learn from you in some capacity, work with you, take some sort of action. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go back to my stuff because I have a template I want to use for this. I have been really liking just essentially mixing what feels like handmade designs, so this grid paper and these little doodles, with really crisp, clear sans serif text and images and icons, things like that. So we're going to customize this template. Now again, to get started, we are going to resize our graphic because this is still just from the older default size for carousel posts. So we're going to go here, hit resize. We're going to choose custom, resize. It's going to do its thing. It's going to think really hard for us. I do think this rainbow animation is really pretty. Okie dokie. All right, so I don't need daily tips on here. I likely don't need 1 out of 5, but I don't know yet. We'll keep it here until we decide. By we, I mean me. Okay, now here's how I want to start off this post. I actually likely don't want that. I might change my mind. We'll see. But I am going to pop this up here, and I'm going to say, I didn't set out to build a personal brand. Okay. Center it, and then this bigger text, I'm gonna say, I just didn't want to go to another networking event. Can anyone relate? I hate networking events and I don't want to go. Okay, actually something too we're gonna do quick, instead of like going through and changing all of our stuff. Well, no, I think what we're going to do is I want to change this font to my brand font just to keep it a little more consistent, which does mean I'm going to retype this so that it's in all caps. I just didn't want to go to another networking event. So we're already setting up this post to identify with my ideal audience, because the people that I am talking to also don't want to have to go to like in-person networking events. It was my least favorite thing that I would do to grow my business. And by the way, it didn't even help grow my business. So that's how I started posting online and accidentally building a personal brand on the internet, which is how I've then pivoted from running a graphic design agency to teaching content tips and online visibility to creatives. So obviously this isn't me, so I am going to change that. Let's see. I have photos saved, didn't I? Or are they just in my downloads still? Okay, classic. Here we go. All right, so here's one of my photos. We're going to use that. We're just going to hit the remove background tool. Also makes my life so easy. That was so fast. We love to see it. So we're going to delete this nice girl and we're going to put me here instead. And we are going to change her name. I don't need with. But what I might say is, hi, I'm Mariah. Oops. Put that up here. And then we'll put in my social. Okay. Fun. Cute. And this little guy, I'm going to change it to one of my brand colors. Light orange. Okay. Now I do want to add one little like blurb of text that just keeps people like wanting to scroll. I'm going to say like, let me explain. I can either, I think I'll put it here. But I'm going to do regular italics, I think. Okay. Great. So we have our first slide. I might come back and change this font color, but for now, I feel fine. Okay, now let's duplicate this so that we can add our second post. Okay, so here's what I'm doing is instead of, well, is that what I want to do? No, I'm going to delete this whole slide and we're just going to resize this one too. Custom, resize. Let's let it do its thing. Let me check the comments while that is happening. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, okay. So, oh no. Hold on. We're going to undo that. We're going to try again because I don't love what it did. Well, I guess I could have just copied it from the other page, but let's try again and then I'll show you what I'm going to do if it does it again. I got out of the screen too quickly. I got excited. Oh, okay. So now it did it well. Okay, great. Keep. Delete daily tips. I don't need this bullseye icon either. And then she looks nice, but she's got to go because she's not me. All right. So here I want to say, used to feel like I had two options. Okay. I'm going to say awkwardly talk about myself at local business mixers or fade into the background and hope referrals would magically appear. Raise your hand if you can relate to that. Okay, I want all of this to be numbered. Perfect. And then I'm going to delete this. And this is going to say, spoiler alert, neither worked. Make it one line. We're going to center it, and then we're going to position it. Okay, great. Now let's add a relevant image. Let's do this one. Well, is that what I want to do? I don't know. Yeah, we're maybe this one, actually. I'm going to get rid of this one for now. We'll put that one somewhere else. But I kind of want to do this. Remove background. Perfect. Would you look at that? Okay. Now let's put these here. Just for fun. I do kind of want to move this in just a tad. Feels a little too close to the edge. Okay. I might put that here instead of above my head. It kind of makes me look like I bonked my head or something. You know what? We're gonna delete it. Okay. Now, slide 3. Let's see. Are there any interesting... Okay. I'm just going to duplicate this page now and then maybe just copy this bottom bar situation. Okay. Now this slide is where I'm going to start sharing like the shift that I had in my story in a way that appeals to my ideal audience, because you need to make sure it's a story they care about. Whoopsies. All right. And this is going to say no cold pitching, no awkward, oh my gosh, DMs. And then I'm going to put here just my portfolio and strategically showcasing my personality online. Okay, let's do some serious reformatting. Okay, I don't want numbers there. And then this, we need to fit. position, center, great. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna make this 3 out of 5, except for I think I'm gonna have 7 slides, so I should just go ahead and change that. Oh, 3 out of 7. We'll say 2 out of 7, 1 out of 7. Okay. This one can go here now. Remove background. Let's see if it removes the couch. Oh, okay. This is actually a great thing to show you guys. So if at any point you feel like, oh, it erased something I didn't want it to erase, what you can do is you can go into this erase feature and we can actually restore some of it. So I do, now that I see that it cut out the couch, my arm looks silly. Well, okay, yeah. So what we need to do is we need to re-add the couch. So that's what we're doing. Okay, done. How's that look? It looks great. So we'll put me there so that the couch doesn't just like awkwardly cut off. And I'm gonna make this bigger. And part of me now wants to change this to be right justified so that it's a little more balanced. Yeah, I think I like that more. I'm gonna make this a little skinnier though, because that's just getting, oh my gosh, the time is flying. Can't believe it's already 3:42. We're only two graphics in. That's okay. Okay. Honestly, I feel like you guys get the point of this one. Is essentially we are having like the shift, what happens next. I'd insert like a client testimonial, specifically a screenshot. If you didn't see last week, was it last week's episode? Yeah. Last week's episode where we repurposed client testimonials in like 4 different ways. You should go watch that. That was a really good episode. Then we were going to add the takeaway and then the call to action. So that's a really good way to structure your story. And you see how I'm designing it. I'm using a template because we love Adobe Express templates. So for the sake of time, I want to go in and I want to create the like B-roll Instagram reel post. So we are going to go here, go to Instagram reel, and these are really fun templates. I don't use Instagram reel templates enough in Adobe Express, and I really ought to. But for today, we are going to grab B-roll. We're going to start with just me working on the computer. And first things first, we're going to mute it. I don't want background noise on this. What I'm going to do is when I upload it to Instagram or TikTok, I'm going to add some sort of like a trending audio or something, right? So we're going to say, I'm going to go to text, add your text, and I'm going to add your talent shouldn't be hiding behind your screen. Raise your hand if you are really good at hiding behind your screen and not showing up online as well as you could be. I'm going to make this all caps again, so hiding behind your screen. And I'm choosing this text specifically because I know that it is where my ideal audience is currently at in their online journey. They are really good at what they do, but nobody knows they exist because they're really good at just hiding behind their computer. And I want to change that. So something else you can do too to like really make your text stand out against a video like this, there's a few things. One, you could darken your video. You could also do like a duotone over your video if you wanted. However, I am going to do none of the above. What I'm going to do instead is we're going to add a glow behind our text. And what I like about a glow is it's not as harsh and like cheesy looking as a classic drop shadow. Instead, it can especially be like, it can just be really subtle, right? So like you can see that, but not a ton, you know? And you can darken it and do whatever you want. I actually think I liked it better with that like lighter gray that it already comes with. And then I am going to shrink my line spacing here. And here. Okay, we're just going to stick with this for now, make it really simple. I am going to choose which section of this video, okay, I want to keep in. So something I would recommend is finding where the movement is in the B-roll. So like I just shift positions there, and then what I might do is I might trim this. So let's split it. I just hit the key S on my keyboard. Now let's find another like interesting section where I'm actually doing a little bit something else. Oh, look at that. A ponytail flip right in the nick of time. Let's trim that down a little bit more. And I want this to be like maybe 5 seconds. So let's see. Well, that is essentially what we have. Oh, coffee. Okay. Let's delete that. Okay. Let's call that good for now. We might delete some of that in a moment. But now this is where I want to put like the grand transformation that my audience could have if they stopped hiding and started showing up and being seen. So we're going to add a blank scene. Well, no, we're not. We're going to upload from device. And we're going to choose this one. This is, oh, nope, this one. Nope. Is this the one that I wanted? Yeah, okay. And I like both of these because, hold on, I just want to make sure that's what I want. Yeah, it is. All right, so this post especially has really like a lot of visual interest. The wallpaper, it's all pink, and then you can see like I've got a ring light. I am showing up. We're doing the thing. It's 16 seconds. We don't need all 16. So let's trim it down to maybe that. That's 5 seconds. Now I am going to go back to this page. We're going to copy this. Something else I want you to notice, okay, good, we still have a few more minutes, is right now this text is only on this very first piece of content. So what I do want to do is I want to make sure that this gets copied. We're going to paste this and say, you deserve to be more than the internet's best kept secret. Okay, we got to change that because I don't want a widow. Okay. All right, let's make sure that goes till the end. All right, let's watch all of this. Here is another hot tip. anytime you get bored watching your own content, like I need you to watch your content and think to yourself, if this was not me, I would have swiped by now. So this was obviously way too long, right? So we're going to delete this first clip. Let's see. All right, this is going to be just like a second long. And then this is going to be a second long, maybe 2 seconds long. We'll get really crazy. Okay. Actually, I want like one more like little jump. So what we can do is maybe this. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, that's nothing. Okay. Nailed it. Okay, here's what's happening. So this is something that happens in Express sometimes. Okay, so you can see here. Things are getting weird. Okay, we'll just trim it here because we're out of video at that section. Okay. Whoa, 600%. Let's go back. Okay, and then on this post is essentially where in the description, I am going, or why can't I say any of these words correctly? In the caption of this post, I am going to really dive into my brand story. So, because this is essentially where my brand story started. Like, I was hiding behind my screen. I wasn't showing up. Nobody knew I existed. And I was just like crossing my fingers, hoping for clients. And that's exactly where my ideal audience is now. And so this is essentially a post describing my transformation, but positioning it for my ideal audience. And then in the caption, I'm going to grab a blurb from my about page and go more in depth about my story and my journey doing this exact same thing, right? So this is how we're tying in the about page. Like my about page was inspired this post, and the caption itself is where you can really dive deep, go share like your deeper mission, and then you can even add a call to action at the end. So like for this one, I'd be like, grab my client attraction starter kit, link in bio or whatever, if I want to have a comment word or something. So does that make sense? What we might do too is, because this is, let's see, do we want a transition here? No, I don't like that one for this. Maybe just dissolve. I think we're just going to do dissolve here. Okay. And okay, I feel good about this one. Also, the fact that it's only 6 seconds is going to be really great because people are going to watch it over and over again. It's simple, it's easy to read, and then in the caption, you're really going to go in deep. So, to summarize, the last graphic I was going to make if we had time, but LOL, we didn't even have time to finish 3 out of the 4, is a quote graphic. So I literally pulled a quote from my about page and made a static post about it. What I probably would do is then take this and add some animation. So like, oh, not an in, I want a loop. So maybe like a a blob. And same with this. I'd probably do like a jitter or something. That way, like there's a little bit of interest, visual interest for the static quote. But yeah, literally grabbed this quote from my about page. It's impactful. And I didn't even have to use a template. I just used my brand fonts, colors, all the things. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for being here. I hope this was really helpful. Once again, go ahead and download that free content repurposing guide. I go through everything I've taught so far over the last 5 weeks. Can't believe we're 5 weeks in already. Come back next week. We're talking all about creating a lead magnet and then promoting it for your Instagram to grow your newsletter. So thank you again for tuning in. It was so good to see you guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.